Hi everyone, this is Ravi. Welcome to Playwright Automation Tutorial. So as you all know, I've already published two YouTube videos where I've covered the Playwright introduction and then what are all the advantages of your Playwright automation tool over other automation tools that are available in the market. And also I've explained to you about Playwright architecture. So this is our lesson 3 where I'm going to teach you how can you set up your Microsoft Playwright automation tool and the environment, and then how can you start automating your first test by using Microsoft Playwright. I'm going to teach you from scratch step by step how to automate your first test by using Microsoft Playwright automation tool. Please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon, you'll receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. Thank you. Okay, so before I start discussing about our first automation script, right? Before I show you how to start automating your first test by using Playwright, let us just recap about how Playwright works. What is the architecture? Okay, so let's say this is your test client, right, where you are actually performing your automation scripting by using probably Eclipse IDE or whatever. So from this test machine, you might be writing your automation scripts in Java, JavaScript, Python, or .NET, right? Whatever the language it may be. So then all the script commands, whatever you write, so that will be communicated to Playwright server. So that will be sent to Playwright server. Okay, and this Playwright server, the communication happens in the form of Node.js. Okay, so these commands goes to Playwright server, invokes the Playwright server, and from Playwright server, let's say you are sending the commands like navigate to the URL or get the title, click on button, type or quit the browser, right? All these sorts of commands you are sending to Playwright server. So now, as same as Selenium, so when you are opening, you are communicating these commands to the browser, right? So in Selenium, what we do, you will have a Chrome driver, Firefox driver, right, or Edge driver, and basically Gecko driver, Chrome driver, right? We generally invoke those kind of drivers in Selenium. But whereas in Playwright, so you need to download the binaries, right? So to interact with any kind of browser, first you need to download the binaries. Okay, so binaries like Chromium binary. Chromium binary supports Edge and Chrome, and then your Firefox binary, and then Webkit binary. Webkit binary means which is a Apple Safari, right? So these binaries needs to be downloaded into your test client, test machine, right? So for that, so before, whenever you send any command to Playwright server, what it will do, first it's going to check in your system, whether it might be Windows, Linux or Mac. It's going to check in your system if in particular location. I'm going to tell you once we start automation script. Okay, so it's going to check in the particular location if these binaries are available in the location or not. Either Chromium, Firefox or Webkit binaries are available in your system or not, it's going to check. If these binaries are not available in the specific path in your system, then what it will do, server will contact these binaries and these binaries will be downloaded to your system. So it's going to download all Chromium, Firefox and Webkit binaries into your system, right? So if in case when the servers, when Playwright checks your system, if the binaries are already available in your system, then it's not going to download the binaries again. So let's assume you are using a Playwright version 1.5 or you might be using Playwright version 1.6, right? If you are using 1.5, it's going to invoke the respective binary versions. If you are using 1.6, and then it's going to invoke the respective binaries versions related to 1.6 Playwright version. right? So this way it's going to download all your binaries, required binaries to interact with the browsers, right? And so basically there are two ways to download the binaries. So one is when you are start writing, when you start automating your scripts by using Eclipse, right? I'm gonna automate a very simple functionality in this session by using Eclipse IDE by using Maven project. Okay, so first one way of downloading binary is in the Maven POM.xml, specify the dependency, the corresponding dependency, playwright dependency, so that it downloads all your binaries. Okay, and the second way of downloading the binaries is you need to go to the your project Eclipse project directory, and then you can run one command in the command line in the specified your project directory. You are going to run the command line with one command so that it downloads all your binaries which required to automate your test cases, right? So these are the two ways. One is you can directly download by using Maven POM.xml, or you can directly download by using command line, by using one command line code. Okay, so I'm going to tell you all these things once we start automating our test case. So okay, so now let's jump onto Eclipse, and then let me show you from scratch, from the beginning, how can you start automating your test cases by using Playwright. Okay, so before start scripting by using Eclipse, the prerequisites are first you need to download your Eclipse IDE. So I'm going to paste all these URLs in the description. You can use those URLs from the description. I'm gonna tell you all these, how to download all these prerequisites while in this session itself, and then I'm gonna start writing the script by using Playwright. Okay, so download Eclipse IDE from this URL. That is your first prerequisite, and then you need to download Java JDK latest version, okay, from the below URL, and then you need to set up Java underscore home environment variables, okay, in your system. I'm going to tell you how can we perform all these things. Okay, and then you need to download Apache Maven, right? Apache Maven dependency into your system, and then you need to set up Maven underscore home environment, and this is the URL from where you can download latest version of the Maven. Okay, and you need to configure your Maven dependency in the POM.xml. Okay, how can we, where can we find, I'm going to tell you all these. Okay, now let's jump onto the Eclipse and start creating a new project, and then let me tell you how can we start writing script to automate a very basic functionality, and then how can you download your binaries, and then how can you interact with your browser, headless mode, head mode, right? How can you invoke Chrome, how can you invoke Edge, how can you invoke your Firefox, and also the main advantage of Playwright is you can also invoke Safari browser in Windows, Apple Safari browser in Windows. I'm going to teach you all these things in this session. Okay, so now let's jump on to the Eclipse IDE. So as a prerequisite, as I told you earlier, first we need to download Eclipse IDE. So I'm going to explain very high level how can we download all these prerequisite softwares. Okay, so all you need to do is go to Google and simply type download Eclipse IDE. Okay, you can just type like that, and this is your official Eclipse website. Okay, go to Eclipse downloads, and here if you see, this is the latest Eclipse IDE. Click on download x86 64. As soon as you click on download, you'll be redirecting to a download page. So here you just need to click on download. So as soon as you click on download, it's going to download your software. So I already downloaded the Eclipse IDE software. Okay. And then you need to, once you download the eclipse.exe file, so go to downloads, and this is your eclipse.exe file. Okay. You just need to run this eclipse.exe file. And once you run this, it's going to open the installation wizard. Okay. So you need to follow, I mean, it's not very difficult to install. It's a very explanation. You will have all the instructions that you have. You need to just follow the same instructions. Okay. So basically first you need to create your workspace. So it's going to take the workspace. So one thing is here, Eclipse IDE for Java developers, IDE for enterprise Java, IDE for C++ developers, right? So out of this, because we are working on Java, I'm going to select Eclipse IDE for Java developers. Okay. So once you select, you just here, it's going to ask you to, so basically it's going to pull your Java, what latest Java, whatever you have in the system, right? And then click on install. As soon as you click on install, and then installation folder is going to ask you. So this is your installation folder, correct? Click on install. As soon as you click on install, it starts installing your Eclipse. Okay. For now, I'm going to cancel installation because I already installed Eclipse. Okay. I cancelled it, back this and close this. Okay. So once you install the software, if you go to start menu and then type Eclipse, you'll find this Eclipse IDE. You just need to click on that Eclipse IDE. So once you click, you'll be landing onto welcome page. Okay. So before we create, okay, let me create a new Maven project. So before you create Maven project, one more thing we need to make sure is, once you download your Eclipse, you need to download your Java JDK. How? Is simple. It's go to, just click here. I mean, you enter download Java JDK, and then go to Java Downloads Oracle. So this is your Oracle official website, right? If you scroll down here, if you see, this is your Linux, Mac OS JDK development kit, right? Go to Windows, and here this is your .exe file. You can download your .exe file or zip file, whatever you want you can download. So better you download .exe file, right? This is your .exe file. You just need to hit download.exe file. So as soon as you hit download.exe file, this is your bin file, right? So the bin file will be downloaded. Okay. You just need to go to, once you download here, you need to simply run this Java JDK file. So as soon as you run, what happens, if you go to program files, C drive, program files, and here C Java, under Java a JDK 11 folder will be created, right? So what you need to do, you need to create a Java underscore home environment variable. Okay. How? Go to start menu, enter environment variables. See, edit system environment variables. Okay. Here click on environment variables, and here I already created a Java underscore home. How? Hit new, and here name this as Java underscore home, and here you need to provide the path of your JDK. What? This is my path, correct? Java / JDK 11. Copy this and paste it here. Okay. Click OK. So then this environment, your user variable will be created, and here under path, right? Go to path. You need to copy this bin path. Bin. Go to bin and take this Java JDK bin path, and then here click new, and here you need to provide bin path. I already provided the bin path, so that's why I'm going to delete this again. Okay. If you see here, this is my bin path. I already provided. Okay. And then hit OK, and then hit OK, hit OK. So that's how you're going to create your Java underscore home path. And then you need to download Apache Maven also. Okay, for that you just need to go to here, download Apache Maven. So I'm going to provide all these URLs in the description. Okay, no need to worry. So go to the download Apache. This is your Apache Maven org official website. Okay, and here if you scroll down, here this is, you can just download your zip file, Apache zip file. Okay, you just click on this zip file, it will ask you to download your file. So it's already downloading. Okay, and then go to your downloads folder. So let me go to downloads, and this one, this is your Apache Maven. You need to unzip this. So what I did, I unzipped Apache Maven under C folder. Okay, let's go here, this one under C, Apache Maven. Okay, so once you just unzip the files, you need not to run any .exe file, just unzip it. Once you unzip, you just need to go to your environment variables again to basically set up your Maven underscore, once again, environment variable, system environment variables, right? You need to set up your Maven underscore home environment variable. Okay, how? Go to environment variables, here hit new m2 underscore home, and here you need to provide the path of this one, path of your Maven. Copy this and paste it here and click OK. I already added this m2 underscore home. And then you need to set your system variable also. Go to path, double click this, and here go to bin. Anytime system variable, you need to point to your bin. Copy this path, hit new, enter this. I already provided the same here. Okay, so I'm going to delete this. So once you provide the path of bin under path, that's it. Hit OK, everything. I'm not clicking OK because I already added. So that's it. So you completed setting up Maven underscore home environment variable also. Done. Now go to Eclipse. Now it's time for us to create a new Maven project. So go to Eclipse, click on File, click New, and then select Maven project. Okay, so I'm going to tell you from scratch how can we start coding or automating test cases by using Playwright. Okay, and here select use default workspace and then click next, and then here you need to select, let's go here, let me write down org.apache.maven. So if you see here, you need to select this one, Maven, basically quick start, Maven R type quick start. Okay, select that and hit next, and here we are going to provide playwright session, or playwright sessions, let's mention that, and I'm going to specify the same name, sessions. Okay, playwright sessions. Okay, once you specify it as a playwright sessions, and then you just need to hit finish. So what it will do, it's going to create a new project for you. Okay, so if you see here, it is creating a new project. So one more thing is, here it is actually, it's going to stuck at, if you see at the right side bottom, it got stuck at 33%. For that, what you need to do is, you need to go to command prompt, show console, under console, right? If you see here, it is showing me, here it is asking to enter yes. So all you need to do, enter Y and hit enter. So that will create your, see if you see here, it is creating a new playwright session project. Okay. So this is your new playwright session. If you see, this is the new playwright session is being created. Okay. So this is the new project that we create. It's got created, correct? So if you see here, we have a default structure here under main and under test, right? So let us delete these packages, default packages. I want to delete so that I can create new packages. Okay, let me delete both the packages from test and from main. Okay, so for today I'm gonna work under main only, not under test. Okay, for today I'm gonna work under main only. So we are gonna work under main. So let me just put this console aside. So here, let us create one new package. Okay, right click and then hit package and name this package as, let us name this as playwright YouTube. Okay, let's name this as playwright YouTube session. Okay, and then click finish. So once we create a package, so now let me create a Java class file. Okay, right click, new and class file. Name this class file as playwright first automation. Okay, first automation, and then check public static void main argument. Okay, and then hit finish. So now a new main has been created, Java class file has been created. Okay, so now let's start creating our first test for this. Okay, so first test, so here I'm gonna name this as under main only we are gonna create. Okay, first what we need to do, so first we need to, so as same as Selenium server, we need to start playwright server. Okay, what we are going to do, I'm going to write, we have a create method, right? So I'm going to use create method playwright dot create. I'm going to use create method, but here playwright, if you see, so before I write the code, there is one more thing we have to add here. So go to POM file, because we need to, because we are getting error here, right? We are getting error here. If you see here, so I have to add a dependency, playwright dependency. So for that, let's go back to browser and go back to our playwright dev, our playwright, our official website. Okay, playwright official website. So here, go to installation. If you go to installation and select Java, because we are writing under Java, correct? So in my previous session, I have already explained about this entire playwright.dev website. Okay, how to analyze, how to read the documents and all these things. I would recommend you guys to visit my previous session. Okay, go to POM.xml. If you see here, there is a dependency, so you need to copy this playwright dependency, correct? Copy this playwright dependency, and now here I don't want a JUnit dependency because I don't want to write any JUnit code right now. Okay, remove this dependency and add playwright dependency. Okay, as soon as you add playwright dependency and save this, okay, hit save. So what happens, it's gonna install all the dependencies related to playwright. Okay, so if you see here, this is your playwright dependencies, it's already installed. Okay, now go back to our first test, and here if I hit control space, so it's going to show you, see, I want to download this playwright here from Microsoft. If you see here, it imported the dependency playwright. Okay, and then create. So what I'm doing actually, so I'm creating playwright.create, but for this, see, because only thing is here it is actually creating a playwright server, but what it is going to return, it's going to return your playwright server, correct? I need to store this in an inference. Okay, I'm going to store this as a playwright reference variable under playwright reference variable. Okay, let's write playwright 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 and playwright reference variable equal to, so if you see here, playwright dot create, correct? So if you see, let me just dot create, playwright dot create. So I'm creating a server. Okay, playwright dot create. Okay, so what it says here, let's see. Okay, so if you see, I'm getting error saying that static methods are allowed only at source level 1 point. And if I go back to POM here, if you see the compiler, I want to change it as 1.8. So it's gonna, and then hit save. What happens? It's gonna install all the dependencies related to compiler 1.8. And if here, come here now, and say, let me save this again. Okay, so I replaced with 1.8 and go to project here, right click and build the project. Okay, let me create Maven update project and hit OK. So the project has been updated. Now if you see, the create error has been gone because I've changed the compiler from 1.7 to 1.8. Okay, that's the simple method. Okay, so once that is done, now here I am actually initiating the server, and I am this create method. I'm using the create method. By using create method, I initiated the playwright server, and I'm storing that playwright server under playwright reference. Correct? So once that is done, now you can start. Once you initiate the playwright server, now you need to initiate the page. How? So here, so you need to initiate your page. Okay, browser. Okay, let me do one thing. Okay, playwright dot Chromium browser. Okay, let me create one playwright browser. So let me do one thing. Okay, so once you create the playwright server, so now you need to initiate the browser. How? So in the same way what we do in the Selenium, here we are going to use driver. What is that? Chromium browser we are going to initiate. Okay, here playwright dot, because we already stored the reference here, so now you can use the same reference here, playwright dot. See, if you see, there are a lot of methods that you can use. Playwright dot Chromium, I'm going to use the Chromium method. Chromium, playwright dot Chromium dot, what I'm doing, I'm going to launch, I'm going to use the launch method. Done. What it is going to return? It is going to return your Chromium browser. So that's the reason I want to store this into a reference variable. What reference variable? I'm going to use browser reference. I want to store here. See, browser, again you need to import this from your Microsoft Playwright. See, this is your Playwright. So browser equal to playwright.chromium.launch. What it is going to return? It is going to return your browser. Okay, I'm storing that into browser reference. Correct? So once the browser is launched, now you can launch your page. So how? Now here, so because we already stored browser dot new page. So I'm initiating a new page, and here this is going to return your page. And then again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to store this into a page reference. How? Again, page equal to page. That's it. So again, this one you need to download from Microsoft playwright. So here playwright page has been downloaded, imported dependency, done. Once you initiate your page, I'm storing the page into page reference, correct? And here now you can use page dot navigate method. I want to navigate to which website? Let me use one that we use. This website we used for our Tricentis task automation, right? I'm going to use the same website. Okay, here navigate to page dot navigate, right? I'm navigating to the demo webshop dot Tricentis, which is your e-commerce site. Okay, once that is done, I want to get the title of the page. Page dot, I'm going to use the method title, and what it is going to return? It's going to return your title. So now you can store this into a string, right? String equal to title equal to page dot title. So basically I am calling page dot title. I'm storing that into a string, correct? Now let me system dot out dot println, correct? Println, what I'm going to print? Page title is, what is the title? I stored into title, correct? I'm going to use title. That's it. So it's going to print into command. Basically it's going to print under console, correct? So once that is done, now let's say I want to get URL. Okay, page dot, there is another method called URL, and this is going to return your URL. Again I'm going to store this into a string URL equal to page dot URL. Now I'm going to print this again, dot print ln, correct? The URL is, what is that? I stored under URL variable, correct? I'm providing the variable. Okay, that's it. Println, so the URL. So you got your URL also. Now that's it. So I want to close the browser. Again, you already stored your browser under browser, right? This one. So you just need to call that variable browser dot close method. I'm using close method. And then I want to close the playwright server. I want to stop the playwright server also. Playwright, if you see, this is your playwright, correct? Playwright reference dot close. So this closes your playwright server, right? Once that is done, now see, we are done. So now one thing is, so as I told you earlier in the session, right here, so when you want to run any particular script and into a, when you want to perform some actions on the browser, you need to have binaries. So let me go to binaries location. So if you go to users, my username, and then app data, under app data go to local. So if you see here under local, let's go back to our website, okay, playwright website. Okay, if you see here, let's go to browsers. Here see, whenever binaries are downloaded, those binaries will be stored under where? Let me see here, app data local, a folder called ms playwright will be created. If you go back here, app data local, I don't have any folder called ms playwright for now, correct? So now when I run this program, as a Java, what it will do first, it is going to check in your system, are these binaries are available or not. If not, it is going to download the binaries. Okay, so now let's do that. Okay, right click. Now let me run this particular program as Java application. So as soon as I run for the first time, it will take a lot of time. So let me just save this, all these. Let me save all these. Okay, right click and then run as Java application. So if you see here, now see, it is actually running the program. What it's going to do, it's going to check in this location. Because binaries are not there, it is going to start creating binaries. And let me show you where. You see, downloading Chromium Playwright build. Chromium binary is getting downloaded. Where? See, there is a folder just now it created. 4th June, 8:43 p.m. Correct? So go here. See, first Chromium driver is getting created. So downloading the Chromium driver and done. Now it is downloading your Firefox driver. See, it is downloading Firefox binary. Once the Firefox binary is getting downloaded, it's going to start Webkit. Right? Webkit is Apple Safari. So I'm going to show you how can we execute these test cases in your Apple Safari also in on Windows. Okay. So for the first time, it's going to take some time, but later when I run this program, it should not download the binaries again. Correct? So if you see here, see now your Chromium is done and then your Firefox will be done. So it is downloading all the Firefox and then it's going to start your, see, Firefox is done. Now it's going to start your Webkit. See, this is your Webkit. Correct? It is downloading Webkit as well. And then, so go back here. See this Webkit. It is downloading Webkit also. So once all the downloads are finished, it's going to execute our test cases. So, see, it printed your title. It printed page URL, correct? But you don't see the browsers open because Playwright generally runs headless mode. By default, it runs in headless mode. Okay. So now if I want to run in head mode, what should I do? Okay. But before I go to head mode, now let me run this program again. Right click and run this again. So if you see, this is already exist. My MS Playwright folder already exists. All the binaries are already exist in my system. If I run this again, now it should run very quickly. Run. See, it directly runs the program without downloading any binaries. Run the program. See, it's directly done. Now, if I want to run the same thing in head mode, what should I do? Okay, so let's go back to head mode. Here we provided chromium.launch, right? Here under launch, I want to specify a property. What? New, I want to specify browser type. Browser type. Browser type dot launch options. So these are the different launch options. Launch options. Now I can set dot launch. So here browser type, again you need to download. So done. See, browser type has been downloaded. Now what are the launch options? Dot set headless. Set headless as false. I don't want to run into headless mode. That's why I want to set this as false. Correct? So now if I run the same thing again, now let's save this. Right click and save. Now let me run this. Now it should launch your browser. See, it opened Chrome. You see here, this is not Chrome. It is a Chromium nightly build. Chromium browser. Okay, so that is done. So let's say if I want to run in Firefox, okay, simply you can replace this with Firefox. Save this and then run this again. run as Java application. See, this is your Firefox, right? These are the Firefox nightly builds. Okay, so done. Now if I want to run in Safari, what you need to do, you need to specify it as Webkit. Save this, right click, and then run as Java application. See, this is your Safari, Apple Safari at the bottom, right? So that is done, and it is printing your title, it is printing your URL, correct? So now let's say if you want to, okay, let me do one thing. Okay, let me do one thing. If I want to download, as I told you earlier, there are two methods, right? One is by using your project, another one is command line. By using command line itself, you can download your binaries. How? Let's go back to this one, binaries wherever it's stored. See here under local, what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this folder now. I'm deleting my all binaries from system. Okay, so I deleted my binaries. Okay, now let's go to this project folder, right click, and then properties, and here take this, copy this path, go to the corresponding path here. So this is my path, right? Now here I'm going to execute command line cmd. Okay, what I'm doing, I'm executing the command line under this project folder. So if you go back to your Playwright website again, as I told you, everything is available here. Okay, under browsers, so this is your command to download all the binaries. Copy this, go to command prompt, right click here, and I want to open this folder. Okay, so what is the folder here under local? Currently I don't have any ms folder, right? And then hit enter. So as soon as you hit enter, it will start downloading all your binaries. I am downloading the binaries from external command line. Okay, see here, now it's going to create your ms playwright folder, and it will start downloading all your binaries. See, it started. So if you again see here, the folder got created, ms playwright. So it started downloading your Chromium. So done, your Chromium is done. So your Chromium folder is now available. Now it will start your Firefox. See, Firefox, it started your Firefox, and then once it is completed, it's going to start your Webkit, correct? Done, your Firefox is done, folder is appearing here. Now it starts Webkit. So it started your Webkit also, and then once it is done, your Webkit folder also there. So all the binaries got downloaded again your system. So done. So now let's go back to our application again. So till now what we did actually, let's go back again. We executed these under Chromium, but not actual. Chromium actually supports your Edge and your Chrome browsers. How can I execute this test case in actual Chrome browser? How can we do that? So all we need to do is, let's again, what I can do here after Chromium, see, let's go back here again. Here what I'll do, delete this dot. If you see, there is launch options are there. You will have launch options. There is launch options. So this you need to select. Okay, launch options. Here I want to, instead of null, I want to pass some option here. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I will create one launch options. So same like browser options you will have in the Selenium, right? You have a Chrome options. In the same way, there is an option called launch options under Playwright. Same like Chrome options, browser options. Okay, launch options. Sorry, there is a spelling mistake. Launch options. So download from Playwright. Okay, dot launch options. Sorry, I'm gonna call this as variable. I'm just storing in variable, and I'm basically writing a method, right? I mean initiating the object called launch options. Done. So let's again, oh sorry, there is a spell mistake. So launch options, okay, done. I stored this object, I created, initiated an object. Now lp dot set channel. There is a method called set channel. Here, what is my channel? My channel is Chrome. Here I am going to specify Chrome. And now I am going to pass this. Okay, and also I want to set this as a headless mode. lp dot set headless as false. Right? Now I need to pass this lp under launch options. lp. I'm passing this lp under launch options. That's it. Now if I run this, it should actually run in actual Chrome browser. Okay, right click. See here, now actual Chrome has been opened. Correct? It's not Chromium. What if I want to run under Edge? MS. I'm going to set channel as MS Edge. Save this. Now run this. Right click. Run as. Done. Under Edge. See, now it's actually opening Edge browser. That's it. Okay. So now hope you all understand the concepts, right? So what we did, we basically initiated our Playwright server, and then we initiated the browser, and then we created a new page, and then you are by using page navigating to your URL, and then you can get the title, or you can click on some object. So whatever you want, you can do it. And then I'm closing the browser, and then I'm stopping the Playwright server. And as I told you, you can download the binaries in both the ways, either directly by using your Eclipse POM.xml and by running your project or script, or by using your command line also. Okay, hope you all understand the concepts of how to download your binaries and how can you automate your first test by using Playwright in Java by using Eclipse IDE. So if you have any queries, leave your queries in the comment box. I'll try to respond to your queries. Please do subscribe to the channel. Click on bell icon. You'll receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. Thank you.